Your accent is beautiful, but do you ever find it might make life easier if you could reduce it sometimes? There are many methods to helping you feel more confident with your pronunciation. Today, I'm going to show you one secret trick that will help you pronounce a perfect American R. Watch to the end to learn the exercise that will help you do it right today. Now, my background is in speech pathology, which is unique to most accent trainers who are English teachers. So as a speech pathologist, I'm coming in with research-based proven methods to retrain the mouth and the ear to hear American English in a different way. So I'm not an English teacher. I specialize in pronunciation and accent. An accent is a carryover from your native language to English. So as you're speaking English, what's happening is you're taking the sound system of your native language and you're applying it to English. Not only the sounds, but the rhythm of your native language while speaking English. So what needs to happen as you're reducing your accent, you have to use the sounds of American English and the rhythm of American English while speaking English. That might sound obvious, but what's happening here is your ear is not fully tuned to the sounds of American English. And that's where training comes in. Now, we don't really look at accent training as therapy so much as it is just training. It's training a new skill. But as a speech therapist, I have unique techniques that I can use from my background in speech therapy as it is applied to training the American accent for non-native English speakers like you. As a speech therapist, I'm bringing in unique techniques that can be applied to accent training. So we're going to go through one of these together as it relates to the American R. Now, the American R can be really tricky for most non-native English speakers. There is a very specific position that the R needs to be in for American English R that may be different than what you're used to using from your native tongue. So as I'm training the American R, we really need to understand that there are three main positions of the R. So we have the initial R, we have the R blends, and we have the R vowels. Okay, so let's go through each one of those, and I'll show you how that position changes between them and how you can use these three positions to help you create a more American sounding R. Now, most of my students are using more of like a rolled R or a tapped R. Now I'm going to use my hand to show what the tongue position should be in the mouth, okay? So the tongue for the American R is going to be, the back of the tongue is going to be pulled up to the roof of the mouth. And this is the tip of the tongue. So the tip of the tongue is going to be down. Now, most of my students, what's happening is that tongue tip is coming up and touching the roof of the mouth, either for a rolled R, or a tapped R, ra, 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 ra. Okay? So what we have to do is pull that tongue tip down and pull back the tip of the back of the tongue so that we can get that strong American R sound. Now let's talk about the initial R first. So we have rock, red, right. Okay? Now the R blends are a consonant and then the R. So we either have GR, CR or KR, PR, BR, or FR. So it would be great, crazy, pray, brick, free. Okay? Now, the GR and the KR, those are great R's to start with. So when you do the KR, what's happening, the k, 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 or g, 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 that back part of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. G, 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 k, k, k. And that's exactly where we want the R. So if we go grr, grr, cur, cur, that's bringing that tongue back into that position that we want it in. Okay? So maybe start with that GR, KR, great, crazy. And if you can get that GR or that R sound in position, then we can kind of move into the other positions. So feel what that is in your mouth. Cur, gur, and then purr, pray, burr, brick, fur, free. Okay? So that R blend tends to be the one that we can get into position the easiest. And then as we're doing that, then we can kind of say grok, grok, rock, rock, and pull that initial R in. Okay, so we're playing on these other positions of the R to get that R into the correct position. Now the R vowel tends to be the trickiest. So this is like her, hair, fear, door. It's when there's a vowel and then an R next to it. Okay, so here is the trick to getting that R. Because a lot of times with the R vowel, what's happening is my students will say her, hair, fear, door, where they will drop the tongue instead of pulling it back and engaging that tongue. So that R is flat. So what you're going to want to do is connect an R vowel with an initial R. So once you get that initial R really strong, rock, red, you're going to say her red, hair red, fear red, door red. Okay? You're going to get these R vowels in position by pairing it with an initial R. So hopefully that makes sense and you're able to play around with those 3 different R positions so that you can get that really strong American R sound. So that's just one therapy technique that as a speech pathologist, I bring into my accent training for my students at Pronunciation Pro. And so go ahead and give that a try. I promise it will really help you get that strong American R sound as you practice it regularly. If you want to learn more of how to improve your American English pronunciation, stick around for my 3 easy tips video.